slated to fight Miguel Barrientos at Sparta. How did this fight come together? You're both undefeated, but
I've been putting in a lot of work lately. 8 months? It took me 3 fights, 3 wins. This has got to be my fourth fight now for the championship. I don't believe Sparta had a championship at lightweight, so I guess Miguel was looking to add another belt to his collection, and they figured I'm ready for the shot, so they stubbed me up in there so I can go ahead and take that thing from them.
gotcha. Do you feel you're ready for the spot? Your records are kind of a little disparaging, but you're with Easton. I'm sure you have a ton of smokers under your belt, plenty of jiu-jitsu experience. So,
Oh yeah, I'm definitely ready. Actually, funny thing about it, I did not do any smokers for Easton. I had told my coaches that I'm going to pursue this by myself, and they did not like it, of course, but they understood what I wanted to do, and they're like, if you feel like you're ready, go for the shot. And I believe I proved myself to the coaches and all the promotions that I'm ready for those shots.
yes, sir. Especially now that you're coming off that win over Jeff Poston, and personally, I believe that was your best performance yet. You looked very composed. And then we also got to see that like constant forward pressure that we've come to expect from you. Did you feel a little more composed in that fight than normal, or was it just just me being a spectator?
I would definitely say my second fight, I still had my composure. I just didn't have the striking behind me, and I definitely went back to the lab to get the striking back, and I definitely proved that I had the striking ready. I'm always ready to go. Cardio is always 100%. Anytime they bring that stool in there, I got to kick that thing out. I can't show my opponent that I'm tired, ever.
I hear you. Um, so can you speak a little bit about your camp? You're coaching at Easton and you're training out of Easton. So how does that dynamic work?
Definitely. Well, I have a lot of great training partners. I am lucky that I found Easton when I did come to Colorado. Bojan, he's fighting right now at Octagon, going for his title. He's one of my training partners. Art Colligan, he fights out of Bellator. I get to train with that man. Who else do I get to train with? I get to train with an endless amount of people, but it's not really about the stars you get to train with. It's the people that make you better around you. The normal folk that you don't even think that can test you and put you in those deep waters that can do anything that can make you better.
Yes, sir. Um, so with a win in January, that means you're going to be 4-0. And
Correct.
that's typically when the conversations about, when are you going to go pro start? So, have you had those
Mm-hmm.
conversations already? Do you have a plan for that
Oh,
or?
yes. I'm going to go, after I take this title, I'm going to go over to Colorado Combat Club, take that title off of Miguel, and then I will be done with the amateur scene. I will be going to Muay Thai until December to get my striking even better, and then I'll be going pro. 2025 January, I'll be looking for my first fight.
That's a solid plan. I didn't even think about that, switching to Muay Thai. That's kind of abundant up there with Sparta too. They usually set up the cage with the ring. So,
Yep.
nice. So you're heading into your fourth fight, and like you said, tour with Sparta, tour with Colorado Combat Club. Can you speak on why you selected those two promotions in particular? They must be decent for you to go back.
They're the most prominent out here, and they are the most well connected, I would definitely say, and they always are ready for you to come out and fight from there. They will reach out to you, and if you reach out to them, they're quick to respond, and that's what I loved. When I went to even start my fighting career, I went to Facebook and I found them, and they hit me up immediately as soon as I sent out that message. That's all you need is responses. If you get those responses, you got to take every opportunity that you get because you don't know when you won't get those opportunities again.
Okay. And that was all I really had for you. I appreciate the time, but now the floor is yours. You can anything you want to say, any shout outs, anything like that.
Oh yes, definitely. Easton, they're my home, my backing. When I first came here, I was here to find Justin Gagey, Whitman, and Corral Usman, but I found something way better, and I am so excited to be able to one day represent my school where I don't have to be an independent fighter anymore. I can be a part of truly an Eastern fighter, and that's why I'm out here grinding every second of my life. Every 2 months, I'm looking for a fight. If I'm not injured and my face is still looking beautiful like it is, then I'm ready to fight.
I hear you, man. I appreciate the time. Like I said, thank you so much. I'm a big fan. I've been following you for a while now. Looking forward to this fight. Best of skill. I'll talk to you when you get your win.
Thank you. Blessings.
All right. First of all, there's been a lot of back and forth between you and Jake. From your point of view, how did this whole thing start? How did this whole beef, begin?
So the beef between me and Jake started. We fought in May, and I had no like animosity towards him before. And then at weigh-ins, after we faced off, he's like, "I'm gonna snipe you tomorrow." Blah blah blah, whatever. I was like, okay, that was kind of weird. Um, I jumped for a guillotine in the first round in the fight and didn't get it. Ended up on my back, cut an angle, started throwing elbows. Some of them definitely hit him to the back of the head, but some of them were also definitely legal. And like it's my fault for not being more cautious in the moment, but people gotta understand that a fight is chaos, and like when you're like in a fight, it's not like, oh, I'm gonna just take my time. It's like, oh shit, I heard him. I'm just gonna keep going and going and going, and then his team fucking trashed me all over social media saying that I was a cheater, that I did it on purpose, blah, blah, blah. Like, bro, I have 30 fights. Not once have I ever had a foul. Not once have I ever kicked somebody in the nuts. Not once have I ever poked somebody in the eye. So, and I fought a lot more dangerous people than Jake. So, like, why would I be looking for the easy way out against an opponent that I personally think I'm levels above? So they were trashing me on social media. I asked for the fight multiple times, never heard anything back. And then I messaged him. He read my message on Instagram and never answered me. And then I won my fight in July. I was like, you're a fucking pussy, blah, blah, blah. You and your whole team can get it too. It's on site. He sees the interview and then messages me and is like, oh, I never saw your message. But, like, it said that you seen my message, you know? So, in my opinion, like, the beef just started mostly because it wasn't even so much him as it was his team and his manager and shit just trashing me all over social media. Like, and all right, like, shit happens in the fight. I hit him in the back of the head. I didn't fucking do it on purpose. And the fact that they were trying to get it overturned from a no contest to a win is just like, bro, what kind of competitor are you? Like, why would you ever want to win a fight like that? Like, if I go out there and get fucking kneed in the face while I'm on one knee like Aljamain Sterling, like, I don't want to win like that. Unless I'm fighting for a world title, like, once a champion, always a champion, but it's a local fight, bro. Like, why would you want to win like that, you know? So that's, like, kind of how it started.
Gotcha. He's got you worked up, man. Like you're passionate about that. I mean, it's not even him. Like you said, it's his team. So.
Yeah, I'm fucking fired up.
So talk to me a little bit about your camp. You've trained at Jackson Wink. You're at Regiment. How do you manage that? Are you still going back and forth between Albuquerque and Mass, or how does that work?
So the last time I fought Jake, I spent 2 weeks in Albuquerque. I haven't been out there since May, which was when the fight was. So right now, I'm mostly just training at Regiment Training Center. I'm getting some work in at Lowe's on MMA. I'll go up to Eton from time to time. And sometimes I'll go up to New England Cartel, but it's been, like, kind of tough with the holidays and stuff. So haven't really been able to get up there too much this camp. But, yeah, Regiment Training Center, Lowe's on MMA for the most part.
Okay. So, like you said, you've had a ton of fights, and, like, I think what happens a lot of time in New England is guys get to a certain point and then they get a demanding job, or they kind of settle into a family, or you know what I mean, they kind of just give up on the dream. So, like, what do you accredit that to, the fact that you've been in this game for the better part of 10 years and really never stopped? I mean, what do you credit your dedication to?
I just want to I just want to be in the UFC so fucking bad. Like, I've spent the last 10 years, like, I've ruined relationships. I quit my full-time job, like, because nothing else makes me happier than the sport of MMA. And, like, it's the only thing that I really enjoyed, like, doing these days. And I know I have the skills to be in the UFC. I've proven it to myself many times in the gym with people I've sparred with, people I've grappled with. I know how fucking good I am, and I just want the chance to be able to show it on a bigger stage, whether it's the UFC, PFL, ONE FC. I know I have the skills to hang with those guys. I spar with high-level guys all the time. I know how fucking good I am, and I just want the chance to prove it. I want to be in the UFC so bad. I don't want to work a 9 job ever. Like, I work part-time now, but I don't want to work a 9 to 5 job forever. I want to open my own gym. I want to be in the fucking UFC, and I want to be a staple in the UFC. I don't want to just get to the UFC and go 0-2 and get cut and then never get back. Like, I want to get to the UFC. I want to stay there, make a lot of money. But at the same time, I'm also 29 years old. The UFC doesn't want to sign guys who are like 33, 34, 35 years old. So I'm fucking hustling, trying to get there now. So I'm realistic with my goals, but I'm also kind of delusional to the point where, like, nothing else matters to me besides this. Like, even my girlfriend sometimes, she's like, you're always at the gym. I'm like, well, fucking, do you want to work the rest of your life or not? Because if I get to the UFC, you're going to be a stay-at-home dog mom.
I got you. So I mean, with that being said, you're in a kind of a weird position right now. So if you with a win over Jake and then maybe like another 2 wins, you're kind of in that position to get that call for a contender series fight or the PFL. That's kind of right where you want to be. So I mean, before you get that done, I know you're in a rush to get there, but is there something you'd like to accomplish on the regional scene while you're still competing for the Cage Titans? And
I would love to win a pro title, honestly. I had 3 amateur title fights. I lost all 3 of them. Two decisions, and I had a Muay Thai title fight that I took on like 36 hours notice or something. Lost that one, but they're all fights that I know that I could have won. Like, I know how good I am in the gym. Like, I know the people that I hang with, like, how good I am. Like, if you've trained with me before, you know how fucking good I am. If you've just watched me fight, like, you've only seen about maybe like 40% of my actual skill. Like, I know how fucking good I am. And so I want to win a title so bad. And I want to go 5-0 in 2024. So 5-0 2024. I did apply to get on the Ultimate Fighter. So, I mean, I feel like it's kind of a long shot, but that would be a life-changing opportunity for me. I have a couple teammates who were on the Ultimate Fighter, and they came back like completely different fighters, So I feel like that would be a life-changing opportunity. But my main goal, beat Jake, beat his coach, win a pro title.
got you, man. Got you. So, from your point of view, you're a great guy to ask this question. You've been on the scene for quite a while now, and you fought for a lot of different promotions as an amateur, as a pro. So, in your opinion, what makes an organization great from a fighter's point of view? Like, what do you look for at this point? You could fight pretty much anywhere in New England. So, why do you choose the promotions you choose?
So I fought for pretty much every promotion. The only ones I haven't fought for is Combat FC and Combat Zone. I fought for every other promotion. I look for one, how the fighters, whether like this is why I love Cage Titans so much, and I'm huge on the way that Mike treats everybody. He treats the out of town guys the same as me. Like, I'm a hometown guy, hometown favorite. I fought Chris Burbridge, who flew in from Alaska, and he still gets treated the same way that I do. So feel like the way that the fighters are treated, the venue, because there's nothing like fighting in Plymouth Memorial Hall. Like, the energy and the way the cage is set up, and it's like you're fighting in a coliseum, So the way the fighters are treated, the venue, communication between promoters, like between the promoter and the fighters, and matchups. Some of these promoters are just fucking scummy, man. Like, they'll just try to feed you, and it's like, I'm not here to be fed. I'm here to do the eating. So, matchups, venue, way the fighters are treated, and just putting on overall good fights. Like, I'd much rather fight for Mike and know I'm going to be treated right than go fight somewhere else, make a little bit more money per se, but be treated like shit,
I get you. I get you. That was
And
kind of
like, pay too, because fighting locally, you really don't make that much money, but I've definitely made more fighting for cage times than I have for any other promotion. So
Yeah,
pay too.
yeah, I got you. The ticket sales aspect is pretty big too. I mean, it sounds
Yeah,
stupid, but like the tickets they give you guys, it's easy to just go on Instagram, give them a flip. People are like, "Ooh, it's pretty," as opposed to like the Ticketmaster. I feel like it's a little bit easier for you guys to push tickets, as weird as that sounds.
100%. Yeah, 100%.
So that was kind of all I had for you, but we got a couple fan questions. Are you ready?
Yep.
I didn't write these. These are from fans. I'm not my words. All right. First one is Davino Jr. MMA asks, "What are your expectations for your next fight?" And he says he'll be rooting from you from Brazil.
Um, just domination. I'm just gonna go out there. There's this famous saying that I like, and it says sometimes you just gotta be jump. Sometimes you just gotta jump and be free. And I'm at my best when I'm free. I'm taking my time. I'm being calm. I'm not entering into the chaos. And I plan on being in there for an entire 15 minutes. I want to be in there for the entire 15. I don't want a quick finish. I want to go out there, have a battle, show all my skills, and show that I'm just levels above this kid. And if the finish comes, I'll take it. But I plan on going in there and breaking this kid mentally and physically.
Hear you. Next one is Gage Earl. He asks, "What round do you see Jake Dickin Balls giving up again?"
Yeah. So I got like 7 different nicknames for this guy. Jake from State Farm, Jake Balls, Jake Balls, like uh, Jake the Hick. You know what I mean? I got so many different nicknames for him. But yeah, Gage is one of my training partners, and like I said, I'm planning for the fight to go 15. I want to go a full 15. I've only gone 15 as a pro once, and I lost a decision. I want to go 15 and get a win. But if he is going to break, it's going to be in the second round.
I got you. It's a 3 round fight, right?
3 round fight.
All right. So I mean that was kind of it for the fan questions. The floor is yours. Anything else you have to say before we wrap up? Any shout outs or?
Yeah, just shout out to my team. I've been with them forever. Regiment Training Center. My coaches, Brian Raposo, Tommy Texera, Ryan Lavoie. Shout out Lozon MMA. Shout out all my sponsors, my family, my girlfriend, everyone for all the support. And thank you for having me on the show.
Hilton Honors slays.
Obsessed.
Points for a free stay? Yes, please.
Upgrade. Loves it.
All these perks. We're sliving.
Totally sliving. I said that right?
Yeah.
When you want the celebrity treatment, no matter who you are, it matters where you stay.
That's hot.
Totally. Hilton Honors. Hilton for the stay.
I saw your fight against Alcaraz, and I became a fan right away. It seemed like you had a lot of experience, a lot of poise in there. So I looked you up, and then it said it was your first fight. That can't be the case, right? You must have some smokers under your belt or something.
First kickboxing fight. I've been doing Muay Thai. I've had about 7 Muay Thai fights.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So they do it weird where like it was my kickboxing, specifically just straight kickboxing rule debut. But no, I do have Muay Thai experience. It obviously will translate. My style is very kickboxing kind of anyways. Like it's not super planted. I like to move a lot. So it's probably why it wasn't my first, debut fight. That'd be crazy, man. That'd be crazy.
Definitely not. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of glad you brought that up. So that brings me to my next question. Talk to me about kickboxing in the cage. You're kind of one of those guys. You have that Muay Thai lean back style, and you were doing it really well. Does the cage wall mess with you at all, or do you plan on doing MMA so you don't care?
Oh man, I love fighting in the cage. I like it. The ring, I feel like can get a little bit. It's more open, right? For some reason, every time I fought in the cage, I lock in instantly. There's something about being locked in there, like physically locked in a cage with somebody that just like it flips the switch, and I like that a lot. Now, in terms of application or maybe like the actual cage in strategy and stuff, it is a little different because I can't put people in corners, and then sometimes when you're on the cage, all pinned on the cage, getting pressed on. It happened in my last fight. It's almost feels like the angles to get off the cage are a lot harder. You can't bounce off the ropes, can't bounce off the cage. Like, you're stuck. You have to pin, you have to post, you have to get off. So that was something different. But I love it, man. I love fighting in the cage. It's been great. Maybe one day I actually started because I wanted to do MMA back in the day when I was like 15. And then I started striking, and I just fell in love with striking. So it's not off the bucket list. It's not off the bucket list 100%. So.
Okay. So do you know if this next one is in a ring or a cage, by the way?
Yeah, it's going to be in a cage again.
Okay.
From my understanding.
So do you know anything about your opponent? I've kind of looked him up, but all I can really find is him doing jujitsu. And he's in a kickboxing title fight. So, I mean, do you know anything about him, or?
Yeah, man. So he actually fought. I believe he was the fight before me, or just after me. I think it was just after me. From the last fight back in October. Last time I fought for Sparta. So he has a couple of MMA fights under his belt. He has a single kickboxing fight under his belt. Seems like a tough dude. I don't know much about him, but I never underestimate any of my opponents, man, because I've made that mistake back when I was wrestling in high school, and every time I underestimated somebody, it never went well. So I just made a promise. Every time I face somebody, it doesn't matter their background, it doesn't matter what they do. When you're at a certain level, you train for everyone the same. Like they're the hardest opponent you've ever faced. So looking forward to fighting him. And I don't really know too much outside of that. Like I said, I know he's very aggressive, forward pressure, MMA style, and I love that. That's like my favorite matchup. So I'm excited.
Awesome, man. So you had mentioned you were a wrestler, so you have years of competition experience at this point. So what does the preparation for a fight look like for you? I mean, does anything really change between being in camp or out of camp, or just kind of intensity, or what changes?
Yeah, anything changed? Man, one of my coaches, Sean Madden, I don't know if he says this, he says this game, the fight game, Muay Thai especially, it's kind of integrated in the culture. They fight a lot over in Thailand. We're in camp all year. We're in season all year, I guess you could say. Like, this isn't like a seasonal sport. So mentally, I take it a little easier when I'm not in camp, but I always have something lined up on the horizon so that, I can stay focused mentally. It is easy to lose focus in the long run, so you just have to take everything day by day. But when I'm in camp, typically I train. I like to move every day, at least. Maybe not hard training necessarily, but I do like to get out, move. I'll shadow box. I got like a whole setup here in the backyard where I can just get some work in on the side for more focused type stuff, and then hit pads with my coaches a lot. And then we've been focusing more on tech sparring, playful sparring, right? I'm very big on not sustaining too much damage to my head. I have a style that's like pretty, I try to be super savvy and evasive, because that's one of the main factors. Because I don't know how long I'm going to do this. I want to do it for a while, but I want to make sure that I take care of myself physically, all around. So I like this more playful tech style, even in camp, where I'm not getting like super crazy hard rounds and getting beat up or anything like that. We do push, of course, but the goal is not to, hurt my opponent or my partner, or anything like that, and vice versa. It's to work.
Smart, man. Very smart. Good to hear. So what are your plans after this fight? I mean, you're just kind of getting going. It's the start of a new year. What would you like to accomplish in 2024?
Yeah, man, let me pull this up real quick. So I have big plans for 2024, man. It's probably going to be it's for sure going to be my biggest year yet in the sport and whatnot. So I'm going to be going out to the U.S. Muay Thai qualifiers for Team USA in, I believe, it's either March or April. I gotta double check the dates and stuff. I'm so focused on this fight. I don't like to plan too far ahead. Like, I like to just focus on the next one. But that's gonna be huge. I'm gonna go to the tournament, qualify. Then when you qualify, you get onto Team USA. It's basically like the Muay Thai's Olympics, because the Olympics decided not to make it a Muay Thai an Olympic sport. So they have their own federation, I guess you could say, or like structure. So very, very high. They do a really great job with it. And then I believe, I don't know where the main one's going to be this year. It's either going to be in Thailand for the world tournament afterwards, once you qualify for Team USA, or I think last year is in Saudi. The last one was in Saudi Arabia. I'm not 100% sure on the date or the location, but I know that that's on the horizon. And then after that, planning to move to Thailand for some time, and just train and fight and live the life. So
Man,
that's
glad I
that's the
asked. Glad I asked.
Yeah.
Big plans for 2024. Wish you all the best, man. So I've only got one fan question here, but Dahomey Cole asks, who or what in your career has had the biggest impact on your mental focus? So I don't know if he wants a coach or an event, but what has happened in your
Yeah.
career that shifted your mental focus?
Yeah, man. You know, to be honest, that's a really good question. When I really sit down and think about it, I gotta say, you know, not to pat myself on the shoulder or anything, but it really, like, it comes down to me making the choice of, who I want to be, what I want to do. Like this, flash of an eye. And this is, like, something I'm very passionate about. And like I said, like, I don't do this. This isn't something I do. Like, I'm not a prize fighter. I don't do it for the money. I'm still an amateur, you know? But even once the pro stuff comes, like, I'm not doing it for the money. I do it for the love of the game. I do it for the love of the sport. I've always been like that. I couldn't imagine doing this for the money in the first place. But if the money's there, I'll take it, But it's just really this motivation every day. Like, I gotta be better. I want to be better. I know it's a perfect analogy. The sculptor doesn't sculpt the stone, like the rock, as he goes. Like, he's not, like, trying to figure it out as he goes. He sees the finished product and he slowly builds to it, but he sees it in his imagination first. I see my finished product of my capability and my potential and my imagination. So if I don't continue to chip away at, the rock to my peak capabilities, I'm gonna be kicking myself for the rest of my life. So this is just something that I gotta push. I gotta take care of. It's like a promise to myself, I guess. But I can't turn that switch off, until I see the end. So yeah, man, it's a good question. Good question, Cole. Appreciate you, bro.
So that was kind of all I had for you, but I mean, the floor is yours. If you want to give any shout outs or anything you want to say or get out there, man, I appreciate the time. And I feel like I got to know you a little bit better. This some guys are competitors, some guys are fighters, some guys are artists. You're clearly an artist, so I mean,
I love to fight, man, but yeah, I'm definitely I don't like to. I like to be more just slick with it, I have fun in there. If I'm not smiling in the ring, something's wrong. I gotta smile at some point in the ring. I love it. Okay, yeah. So just for the fight, January 27th, Superior, Colorado, Sparta Combat League. We're the co-main. It's the co-main event for the night card. So it's kind of like the day card and then the night card. So I'll be the second to last fight. And then you already know who's taking that first main event, one of my homies from the gym. And then, let me see. Yeah, on Instagram, if you want to get tickets digitally, my Instagram is ODR_MT for Muay Thai. In the bio, there's going to be a link. Click the link for the promo code, my last name, RAMOS, all caps. Or you can shoot me a message if that's too confusing, because I completely understand the internet can be confusing sometimes. But other than that, I appreciate everyone's support. I appreciate you getting me on this, man. This is fun. fun little way to start the day. I could talk about this stuff all day, you know, anything from breakdowns. Like, I love it all, man. So it's good stuff. Appreciate you, bro.